Hi guys, welcome to the channel, or welcome back to the channel. If you've been here before, we're going to continue on with the comedy bits here. We're doing Rob Brydon live at the Apollo Part 1. This is the host of Would I Lie to You? I've seen him on that. He said a couple of funny things sometimes, so thought I would watch his stand-up and see, how funny he can be. So we're going to watch it, but first, I'm going to bring up subscribing to the channel, liking the video, turning on your notifications, and sharing the video around. So let's just get on with this here. Rob Brydon, live at the Apollo.
What an audience! Wow! This audience is jam-packed with celebrities. Where have we got? We've got, there he is, Craig Revel Horwood. Craig recently had an autobiography out. What a colourful life. Yes, mostly orange, but nonetheless... And also in that, where's Rachel Stevens? Hello, Rachel. Rachel Stevens is here, ladies and gentlemen. How about that? Rachel, of course, once won the title Rear of the Year. Yes, she did Rear of the Year. Not unlike an award, of course, Rear of the Year. Not unlike the award that you won, Craig, 2 years running, Arse of the Century. Wow. Alison Steadman is here. Alison, I loved you in Nuts in May. I did. Yes. And who'd have thought that an actress of your standing would be willing to get them out for a lads' mag? She was in Nuts in May. Did you not see it? She's doing Loaded for December as well. I'm joking, of course. Oh, it's lovely to be here. It really is. I myself am very excited. I recently became a father again. Thank you. Thank you. For the 4th time. Oh, yes. Oh, yes. Now, because I'd already had children, I was determined not to fall into the traps that new parents have. The risk of the false alarm. Now, this is when a lady gets towards her due date and she gets a little twinge and she thinks the baby might be coming. She goes to the hospital only to be told it's wind. I didn't want my wife running off to the hospital. In fairness, I should have given her a lift. Only to be told that it was wind. So whenever she'd have a little twinge, I'd say, darling, don't worry, relax. Now, with hindsight, that was a bad idea. 9 days before the due date, she woke up. She sat on the edge of the bed. She went, I could barely hear the television. She said, I think it might be today. Now, this was terrible news for me because I'm a big golfer. And this was a day I'd had in the diary for some time. I was going to play golf on this day with Ronnie Corbett. I know, it's true. This is a true story. And that's not the sort of thing you scrub out of the diary on a whim, is it? So I said, look, let's just see how it goes. But if anything, by lunchtime it had got worse. And come midday, she actually turned to me and she said, Rob, she said, I don't think you should go. Unbelievable. Now, I didn't know what to do. I'm not a cold-hearted man. So I stood there and I was torn. Should I stay or should I go? It was a moral dilemma. And so what I did was this. I asked myself a question I often ask at times of moral dilemma. What would Rod Stewart do? So there we were on the 14th. We had a cracking afternoon's golf. We really had. Ronnie was on fire. We'd been out there for a few hours, and I turned my mobile back on. And sure enough, there's a message from my wife. She says, "Oh my God, get home, it started. I've gone into labor." Well, I get home, all hell has broken loose. My wife is in the front room with the midwife. It's in the television room, and she's on all fours. Right? It's a Sony 42-inch plasma. And she's sweating. She's going, it's too big. It's too big. Get it out. She wasn't saying that during the conception. And she's... oh, she's in a hell of a state. She's very uncomfortable. And the midwife takes me to one side, and she says, "Mr. Brydon," because I insist on that. She says, "Mr. Brydon, I've examined your wife. She's already 8 centimeters dilated. There's no way we'll get to hospital. We're going to have the baby here." Well, this was scary. A home birth. No pain relief, you see, with a home birth. No. I would have absolutely nothing. And it's different. A home birth is different. You don't lie on your back. You give birth like a mammal. You give birth on all fours like a bear. Very naturally. And when a child is born this way, the first thing to when a child is born... Johnny Mathis there. Ray of hope flickers in the sky. Who'd have thought it? So, when a child is born that way, the first thing to appear is the head. So picture my wife, okay? There she is. All across the land dawns a brand new morn. This comes to pass when the child is born. Now, he didn't do that. He didn't wave his head around like that, okay? I'm just doing that so you can see. I mean, my God, if he'd done that, it would have been horrific. That didn't happen. That didn't happen. But what does happen is the head just hangs there. And your wife is there with a little human head hanging between her legs. A tiny miniature human head. It's the most horrific thing you'll ever see. But you can't look away. She had a tiny human head there. She had a head there. She had a head here. She looked like a playing card. And I'm terrified. Oh, I'm terrified. I don't know what to do. And he looked angry as well. His face was all scrunched up. He was livid. I mean, to this day, we can't be sure what it was, but something had rubbed him up the wrong way in there. He's just hanging there between her legs, looking in the opposite direction. He looked like a rear gunner. And I'm terrified. I'm freaking out now. Now, Alison, here's the thing. You'll love this. I had said to the midwife, and this is a bit soppy, I'd said I wanted to be the first person to hold our baby. I wanted to be the first one to make flesh-on-flesh contact. I wanted to bond. I mean, it sounds silly, but I was hoping for a sort of a Lion King moment. That's what I wanted. And if that had gone well, Hakuna Matata. But I'm freaking out. So the head hangs there for about 10, 12 minutes. Finally, the midwife says, "It's almost here. it's time. If your wife gives one more push, he'll arrive. So my wife went, yeah! Baby went, I put the TV to mute. And I leapt across the front room. And I caught him. And I was the first person to make contact with our son. It was a little boy out, and he was there in my hands, all warm and new. And it's one of the most overwhelming things you will ever do. And I tell you now, I was in pieces. I was in floods of tears. My wife was crying. The midwife was crying. And your mind just becomes a mush. I mean, to this day, I can't explain why I did, what I did, next. It was so emotional. Maybe it's because I'm Welsh, I don't know. But I went... Well, thank God we hadn't cut the cord. He shot back. It was Junior Bungee. He ended up lying on the floor with all this umbilical cord snaking around the room back to his mother, yards of it. I thought, what the hell do we do now? I needn't have worried. Calm as a cucumber, the midwife walked over to my wife. She put her left foot on my wife's right foot and pressed hard. And just like a Hoover, the cord went... And that's why we called him Henry.
All right. So that was Rob Brydon live at the Apollo. It was part 1 and 2. I don't know, that clip was a little messed up. I had to find the rest of it. I'm really not sure what I have, but it looked like I got the full clip. So this is Rob Brydon live at the Apollo. It was pretty funny. He had some good moments. He had some meh moments, but he had a few good laughs. So thanks for watching. Be sure to like the video, subscribe to the channel, turn on your notifications, and pass the video around. Stay cool and have a nice day. See ya.